Hey guys, welcome back. Right here in front of me is something new that I'm going to put on the boat here today. And if we sort of tilt it up here a little bit, you can see it's a Bimini top. And so this is a 4-bow unit, a 4-pole unit, as you're about to see. It is 8 feet long, and I think it sits about 54 inches high. So this is a pretty big unit. I've been wanting one of these for quite a while because the Bimini top that comes with this boat, and if you haven't seen this boat before, check out one of my more recent videos. This is a 99 Chaparral 180 LE. This is a bowrider. And let's just take a little walk-see up here. Is that a word, walk-see? You guys can sort of see what you're dealing with. Right, so there's the boat, and this boat is, well, it's been a great boat for me and for my family. Had this boat since brand new in 99. But it gets really hot out here in the middle of the summer, especially with the original Bimini top that came with this boat. The old top, it was quite short, and really all it did was it went sort of about this high, and it was more or less there if it started pouring and you were driving, kept the rain off you. That thing, as old as the hills, it certainly doesn't provide very good shade, because let's face it, you're not just sitting in the front two seats. You're often back here in the boat, and if you want some shade back here, well, you're not going to get it with the original top, so we got a new one. I just bought this top. This is from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. As I mentioned, this is about 8 feet long, about 54 inches high. And this is for the width of my boat that I measured. And I think that comes out to be about 78 inches. So I've not had a look at this before, aside from cutting up the tape and looking and making sure it was all there. So I'm going to dive into it here. And let's see what we got. So there's the actual top itself, and you guys can see that's the model I got if you guys are going to order one. I've got no affiliation with these folks, but just from a first look, it looks half decent. That's the main thing. So we got all our hardware here. Hey, look at that. I can give you a screwdriver. And here's all the poles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this, and then we're going to put it into place, and hopefully this isn't too challenging. I will have to drill into the fiberglass, probably somewhere here along the top. Don't like doing that all the time, but hey, you got to do what you got to do in order to get one of these tops installed. So let's get this opened up here. That was close. Okay, so we're in business. Let's get her going. I didn't see instructions in here. Maybe that's what that is. Gosh. Okay. Right there, component list. On the back, I've got my assembly instructions. And so we're going to have a once over of this, and then we'll start building there. Open the box, check. Remove the parts, check. Confirm all the parts are there. Okay, better do that. Lay out the fabric, put the poles in, yada, yada, yada. Assemble it, use some hardware. Okay, simple enough. Here we go. Sure I got it the right way. I think I do. What do you guys think? I have no idea. Like that. Okay, we're good. That's pretty good. I took the top and I brought it here into my shed so I could sort of set it up before I take the plastic brackets, and there's 4 of them, and drill and screw them into the boat. The worst thing would be for me to put them in the wrong location and then I got to move them, and now I've got empty holes inside the hull. Talking along the top, that is. Regardless, I don't want that, and so by putting this here I can take some measurements and make sure that it's going to sit exactly where I need it to. Then I'll put the brackets up there, drill them and screw them. Alright guys, well, I did a bit of measuring and I think I got it figured out. When we have the top laid down in the closed position, I want to have it sort of resting on this back pad here. So I did my measurements and I put some marks down. I just got to mark these guys right here. Here's my mark. We'll get that centered. And we'll put it right about there. Make sure that's lined up. I can see my other mark that I made up there. And I think we'll actually just turn it just a bit here. Okay, well, I got this marked. This will be the main support here. And it's going to go just like that. And I had to do a bit of measuring to make sure that the position was correct. I also checked underneath to make sure there's no wires there, so I think we're good to go. One last little check there. Looks good to me. Okay, let's just see where we came out here. There we go. Okay. And just like with anything, you know, you don't necessarily have to take any of my advice here. I'm just sort of showing you what I do. You might want to consult someone who does this for a living. I certainly don't. I'm going to put just a little bit of what do you call it in there? Silicone. If it'll come out. There we go. That's what we're looking for. We're just going to put a little bit underneath of that. It's not an adhesive. But I want to keep the water away. And here's the stainless screws it came with. I just got to make sure I get this in the right position, just because the bolt can only go in the one way. Well guys, there we have it. If you look behind me, you can see the new Bimini top on my boat. This was not overly challenging to install. I had to drill 6 holes for 6 different brackets and ultimately put some screws in there. So not overly hard. I think the hardest part about this job was just figuring out exactly where I wanted to drill the holes to make absolutely certain that those brackets went in the right spot the first time. My first instincts, or my first sort of look at this Bimini top, it feels like it's well made. I'm not overly concerned about it lasting. I realize at this point now, after seeing it up, it is quite tall, so whether I keep it at that height permanently or not, time will tell. Good thing about this, it's not overly complex, so if I need to bring it down to a more manageable height, I more or less would just cut these aluminum poles here and make it to the height I need. This thing is highly adjustable. You guys can see all these can be moved right here and up here and down here. In fact, I had to move this one just a little bit because I was getting some interference when I put this in the down position with the side of my window. So I moved this up just a little bit. In order to do so, it was pretty straightforward. There is on some of them, you're going to notice, maybe we can show you down here. You guys see right there? There is that hole that I drilled. There was a rivet in there, so I just drilled the rivet out, and that way I was able to move that bracket by using the screw. I can go back and put another rivet in there once I'm happy with that position. But I think overall it looks pretty good. It's certainly going to provide some shade, and the next thing I got to do is get out on the water. So glad you guys came along with me here. You'll be sure to see this out on the water hopefully before long. And I guess last thing we'll do, we'll just put it down. You guys can see it in the down position. As you can see here, I'm not an expert at that yet, but there it is in the down position. And it gives me lots of room to sit at the back here in any of the seats, and it's resting right on this thing right here. So, and it came with this as well, which more or less goes over the entire unit and allows you to leave it in the upright position. Let's just see how that works. Oh, forgot to put that one in, but as you guys can see, that's pretty slick. Takes a little bit of learning, but that's my first go at it, so happy overall. All right guys, well, that's going to do it for me here today. As you can see, we got a bit done, and that's the main thing. It's a beautiful day out here. Despite the fact that the bugs are still biting, we'll fight them off. You guys come on back next time. We'll be up to something, whether that's out of the sawmill, playing around in the tractor, or doing odd jobs like this. Guys, you all take care. Be well. See you next time.